Well, here we are. I've survived my first hiatus and Season 5 has finally arrived. The past almost 11 months of waiting all come down to this moment, and there's a stream of new content for the next 24 weeks. Looks like I've got quite a lot of work to do, so let's take a look at the Cutie map. First things first, the introduction. The overall idea of the map and the castle has me a little worried, but it's too early in the season to say for sure. The map is in place to add a larger sense of adventure to the season as a whole, having the main six travel all over and spread their message. However, if they use this too much, then we will be somewhat deprived of the slice-of-life situations that we've seen in the past. Similarly, by focus on spreading friendship to others, the interactions and conflicts between the main six themselves may also be cut short. In addition, in situations where the main six travel from place to place and spread their message, the scenery may change, but what happens in these episodes may become noticeably formulaic and lose their appeal over time. Also in the introduction, every character gets a chance to say something, including Spike, who would only have a couple minutes of screen time. This makes the Cutie map truly feel like the beginning to something. Any new viewers can clearly understand that. Rarity likes pretty things, Applejack is the sensible down-to-earth one, Fluttershy is the gentle submissive one, Rainbow Dash is the tomboyish adrenaline junkie, Pinkie Pie is the ball of energy that you will either grow to love or hate depending on your personality, Spike is the childish comic relief, and Twilight is the cautious logical thinker in a position of authority. We are also informed of Big Mac's existence by Spike's dialogue, and that a pony with both wings and a horn is called an alicorn. These are all obvious things to the veteran viewer and essential to the first-time viewer, yet they don't get in the way of what the veteran viewers have come to see. Aside from that, each of the characters later on would also have moments of individual characterization that, while not absolutely necessary, add a feeling of teamwork to the cause instead of Twilight doing a majority of the work like in many Twilight-oriented episodes, which leads me to the antagonist. We're introduced to Starlight Glimmer, and if the name wasn't enough to tell you this, she is obviously made to be a match for Twilight, and isn't the first. All throughout the series, we've seen characters that compare to Twilight, all in different situations. Twilight has undergone tremendous development throughout the series, all fueled by the choices that she made. Every so often, Twilight receives a new foil character who is faced with a similar situation, but made the wrong choice, leading to their role as an antagonist. The first example of this is Trixie, who was arrogant and flaunted her talents as opposed to Twilight, who remained humble even though she knew that her magic was superior. The next and best example of this is Sunset Shimmer, conflicting Twilight both as a student and a leader. Sunset had grown corrupt because she refused to halt her studies, while Twilight avoided that corruption by helping organize the Summer Sun celebration, and in turn, meeting her friends. Once she had gone corrupt, Sunset Shimmer wanted power, and had managed to strike fear in just about everyone at Canterlot High. Twilight had been granted power when she was ready for it and stood alongside her subjects rather than above them. Here we have Starlight Glimmer, who is able to contrast Twilight's role as a fully realized princess. Twilight knows that her task is to spread friendship, and Starlight had set out to do the same in her village. However, Starlight went about doing so by enforcing it and stripped everyone in their individuality to make the process seemingly easier. By doing so, she ignored that the friendships made in this process weren't genuine. Twilight realized that the differences that they share may cause disagreement, but in the end, that's what strengthens their true friendship. Unless she would ascend to an even higher power, it would be extremely difficult to create another link in this chain and expose something in Twilight's current position that could have led her down the wrong road. We're also introduced to Party Favor, Night Glider, Double Diamond, and Sugar Belle, who seem to have gotten too much of a spotlight to be one-off characters. With Starlight's disappearance at the end of the episode, it seems more than likely that we haven't seen the last of any of these characters. In previous seasons, there was always a sense of closure in the premieres. Nightmare Moon was defeated, Discord was turned back to stone, King Sombra done sploded, the vines were stopped and the Tree of Harmony was restored. In this case, Starlight ran off. They left it very open for her to return. Whether she returns ready to redeem herself like Sunset Shimmer, or to seek revenge like Trixie is yet to be seen. Either way, it's pretty likely that if she does return, the other four will come back with her. The conflict in this episode arose from having Cutie Marks taken away, which led to everyone losing their special talents. In Magical Mystery Cure, everyone's Cutie Marks were swapped, which led to the swapping of special talents. However, the mysterious ways of the Elements of Harmony made it unclear as to why their talents were swapped. People have speculated that the marks were strictly symbolic and that their destinies weren't swapped, their memories were. Everyone who lost their talents in the Cutie map were aware that they lost their talents, and they knew what they originally were. However, even Rainbow Dash, someone whose talents were entirely based on physical training, had her flight handicapped because of her new Cutie mark. It's pretty fair to say now that it's the Cutie mark that dictates the talent. Yet, in the case of Twilight, we know from Cutie Mark Chronicles that she was talented in magic before she earned her mark. From this, I'd say it's pretty fair to assume that Cutie Marks do in fact represent destiny. A Cutie Mark dictates talent, yet that talent existed before the Cutie Mark was earned, meaning that the Cutie Mark was predetermined in order to allow that talent to flourish. Wait. I've done it! I've answered the question that everyone was wondering about! But wait. If my Cutie Mark is like it is now, How did I have the skills to figure that out? So I guess tell me what you thought in the comments down below, and if you haven't already done so, do me a favor and subscribe. Season 5 is just getting started, and so am I. I'm Caps Lock, and I'll see you next time.